Council meetings, community events, and budget workshops. These are all things Dan Mandell does as the mayor of Elmira. But there's something about him you probably don't know, and it's one of his main motivators in dealing with a high-stress job. WENY's Isabel Garcia sat down with the mayor for an exclusive interview to find out more about his passion outside politics. Isabel?
Hello, Renata. That's right. Dan Mandell has been training for 40 years and is making a name for himself in a world known for showing your strength.
First of all, it's a very humbling sport because you can only do what your body can do, and you see some other people out doing a lot more weight than I'm lifting. So in that aspect, it's humbling. So it teaches you to be humble. It teaches you discipline. You have to be disciplined to do this. You just cannot say one day, hey, I'm going to do a meet. It doesn't work like that. You have to have your regimen set up.
And that regimen is what keeps Mandell on track, both in sport and in life. As a competitive powerlifter, he has a tradition to help advance his progress, something he's been consistent about since 1994, when he first began in the sport.
Through the years, I keep track of my sets, my reps, my routines. Like I try to do in a 12-week cycle. You start from 12 weeks out from a meet, so I'm able to write up my routines and track them in these books, so I can use them for historical purposes. So I can go back to look to see where I was at, and even week to week, what exercise did I do? Did I need to change something up?
In the sport of powerlifting, a competitor must execute 3 attempts to display maximal weight: squat, bench press, and deadlift. Mandell now competes in the 50 to 59 age bracket and attributes the rigorous workouts and training to his improving health.
It's a great stress relief. When I had quit doing it and actually backed off from the weights and really wasn't working out for almost a year, I noticed that my blood pressure went up, my cholesterol went up a little bit. My doctor said, you know what, your sugar, even though you're not diabetic, is going up a little bit. I said, well, I'm not going to be on blood pressure medication my entire life, and I don't want to be on insulin or anything like that. So I started hitting the weights again, and sure enough, my numbers went down.
This June, Mandell will compete in the World Natural Powerlifting Federation National Championship in Rochester. Competitors don't always know who they'll be up against, but for Mandell, it's more about the opponent in the mirror.
A lot of times you're competing against yourself because you have to meet those thresholds. You have to break parallel on your squat. You have to make sure you pause that bench. You have to make sure you lock out that deadlift. So even if you're not competing against anybody in your weight class, so to speak, you are competing against yourself, and that's probably the toughest part.
The underlying message is about setting and achieving goals. For Mandell, his upcoming goals are to build on his personal record from the last meet, an ongoing effort to continue to reach further.
So it's that goal and those goals that I set that I keep going back, wanting to attain those goals, reach them, and then set my goals even higher to reach those. So it's kind of like what people should do throughout their life to be successful. You set your goals, you reach your goals. Once you hit your goals, set your goals even higher. And so that's why I keep doing this. I plan on keep doing this. I will say probably until, if I cannot for some reason ever do it anymore.
Now, as it was mentioned, Dan Mandell will compete in the Can-Am Nationals in Henrietta on June 25th. That meet will determine if he qualifies for Worlds. Reporting in the studio, Isabel Garcia, WENY News.